Hey guys, it's Holly. So the other day, LEGO revealed our first Harry Potter set for 2022, which was this customizable Hogwarts trunk, and there's finally a lot more photos of it, and now that it's sort of been out for a while, I thought I would sort of go through and break down a lot of the really cool new pieces that we've gotten, as well as just the set in general. There are so many unique parts and customization options, and I feel like it's going to be an excellent parts pack despite sort of a kind of high price because of it. Now there is a lot to unpack in this set, so let's start off with the minifigures. Now in total you get 6, one of which is the same McGonagall that we got in the Hogwarts Moments set, and the other one is actually Harry in his plain black Hogwarts robes, which I'm really glad about. It means he can match all of the ones from this year's advent calendar, which is pretty sick because we didn't actually get Harry in that set. And then the remaining 4 are all customizable, so you each get a scarf torso print, one for each house, and all of them are wearing these little colored gloves. That way, if you're mixing and matching heads, the skin tones will all sort of remain consistent, which is really good. Now 2 of them have plain black short legs, and the other 2 have what I believe to be dual molded or triple molded legs, as they sort of got that little gray bit, which is covered by a brand new recoloring of the troll skirt actually, which is now in black, which honestly looks pretty cute. I much prefer it to the fabric ones. Am I completely sold on it though? Not at the moment, but I guess it will warm on me in the future. Now for our minifigures, there are 5 different heads to choose from, all with different skin tones, which I'm really happy about because I've really wanted different skin tones specifically for kid faces. I feel like we've got quite a bit for adults. I mean, it could always be more, but kids was always quite limiting besides the Cho Chang one that appeared this year. Now for these faces, you get the basic, sort of like the feminine female eyelash version of that just smiling generic kid, and then the rest of them all seem pretty basic with huge cheesy smiles and different skin tones. I love the fact that there is more glasses as well, which is really cool because that's something you don't typically see too often, I find, which is kind of odd considering how many people wear glasses. And that allows you to make all of your students, and you should have one of the heads left over, and each of them as well do look like they're double-sided just by the box print itself. I'm actually just taking a look at the images again, and it actually looks like you get more than 5 heads because you also get the Dudley Dursley sort of head because they've paired it up with the Draco Malfoy hair in order to make Draco, which was quite interesting. I don't know why they've sort of done that. Like, I would much rather have like custom students rather than like random name students that don't quite match the name students that we've gotten. Now with this set too, there are a ton of hair options, and interestingly enough in the video they made like a combination of what looked a lot like Rose Granger Weasley as well as Teddy Lupin. I'm really surprised that they put blue hair and pink hair in there. Personally, I am the least excited for these pieces because I just feel like that's not a thing when you're a kid. Like if I went up to my mom and was like, hey, can I dye my hair blue or pink when I was in high school, she would have just flat out said no. So it's really interesting to see them in there. There's also the classic Ginny Weasley piece. So I mean, technically you could make Ginny Weasley if you wanted to, but I feel like that's one of the most boring options. T'Challa's hair though from the CMF is back, and I'm really excited about that because I absolutely love that hairpiece and I think it looks great. One hairpiece that I absolutely love though are the dark brown little like braided buns. I love that piece. I'm so glad to see that. But besides that, I absolutely love the Birdie Bots piece here. This is my favorite thing so far about this set. Now in the news video, someone commented that this will probably be repeated in the Hospital Wing set, and honestly that's not something that I'd really considered when I first saw it, but upon sort of reading that and thinking about it, I can absolutely see it happening. Like the beans was such a big part of just the end of the Philosopher's Stone. I wouldn't be surprised if they sort of carried that over, even though the Hospital Wing is said to be Prisoner of Azkaban themed, but at the moment we have no clue. It's a shame though that you only get 1 in this set. I really hope that they appear again. I've been waiting for this piece to be printed for such a long time, and I do wish that it was printed on all 4 sides, but I feel like that's a bit ambitious from my part. Some other cool pieces in this set include the good old acid pops that were released this year. There's also a brand new Marauders map print, which is a lot larger than the one for the CMF and still has that sort of closed version rather than the open one that was in the minifigure pack, which I feel like for a lot of people could be a very good thing just in case you missed out on either one of them. You also get the return of the Polyjuice Potion Butterbeer cup, which I found kind of interesting because it feels like it doesn't quite fit in with this story, but it's a really neat piece, as well as just cauldrons. I feel like cauldrons are a fantastic Harry Potter accessory and it looks really cool. One of the stickered pieces, however, is a repeat of the Advanced Potion Making book, so it's not just the Marauders map that sort of got like a regular set redo. I personally kind of hate it. I much prefer the sand blue one. Like, it's not even the fact that it's a sticker over a print. I just personally don't think that the color scheme particularly matches. It's also interesting to put it in a set that looks very much based on like the younger years for the most part, but I guess for people who didn't get that book, it's a really good thing, and I just hope that there's one of those like printed potion tiles that we got in the Hogwarts Moments books on the inside. I'd love to see those be repeated, and I feel like a lot of these pieces honestly will be repeated, besides maybe some of the stickered elements. I have maybe not the map either, but I think the beans definitely have a chance of popping up again. Now, one thing that I didn't realize either in my original news video was that there is a brand new trunk lid piece that is completely flat, and I haven't personally seen a lot of other people talk about it. It's something that completely flew under my radar the first time, but it looks pretty cool. It literally just looks flat, and I feel like a huge part of that was literally just so that it could fit inside this trunk with all of the other builds. Like, it very much looks like a thing you're gonna have to stack up really neatly, put all of the pieces inside, and then shut the lid on in order to get it organized, which I completely understand. And I imagine as well that this will again pop up in a future sets, future Harry Potter sets, just anything in general really. Now, also in this set, there's a brand new printed Quibbler piece, which I really like the look of, and I'm glad we're getting another version of them, because the first and only one that we've gotten since the theme relaunched with Luna in the original CMF series, so that's really great to see. There's also a recoloring of the owl with its open wingspan, which again, very, very excited to see. I love getting owl variations, and I feel like it just makes it so much more exciting than just having a bunch of snowy owls flying around. By the looks of things too, there's a few brown frogs, which I presume to be the chocolate frogs, which again, really glad to see. I love that we're having more of just the Harry Potter confectionery in general in the sets. It's fantastic. But overall, just looking at this set, I feel like a lot of the substance just comes from the parts. In terms of a set, I feel like it's a really good play set for kids, but besides that, I don't know how much use you're going to be able to get out of it. I mean, in terms of like physical building parts, there's not too much that I feel like you could incorporate into a mock per se, but all of the figures and the accessories are a huge, huge win. But the last thing I wanted to talk about and mention, and is something I really didn't consider until literally just now, and that is the fact that this set is probably going to go really nicely with the Hogwarts Icons stuff. It's definitely not in the same scale, but I feel like all folded up next to all of that stuff, it's gonna look pretty good. And personally, from a display point of view, like, I'm definitely more of a display collector and a minifigure collector and all of that. So in terms of how I'm personally gonna display it, that's what I'm currently thinking. I've got my Hogwarts Icons next to my buildable Harry and Hermione, so I might just like chuck one of the figures standing on top of the trunk. I've also thought about getting maybe one or two in order to sort of design them into different trunks, but also for parts, but we'll sort of see how that goes. I'm really excited for this set and just to see the rest of the Harry Potter stuff, and I'm just mostly excited about all of these parts. These are things that I've wanted for a really long time. In fact, I mentioned them in a really old video. So it's awesome to see this stuff finally getting made, and I really hope that we'll get some Deathly Hallows stuff this year so I can sort of have that same moment again with the Deathly Hallows. It will be sick. But let me know, out of all of these pieces, which ones are you most excited for? For me, it's definitely Bertie Bott's, and I'm gonna be building it in Gryffindor because I am so basic. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later.